Today's a threefer. Yeah, two short entries and one long one. April the 13th, 2016. The New Hampshire Fish and Game Department has removed their proposal to hunt and trap bobcats in the state, thanks in part to our efforts. Thank you, everybody who helped with that. April 15th, 2016. A zookeeper was killed at the Palm Beach Zoo today, and the press, including CNN, has been asking me for comment. See tomorrow for the culmination of the information that I shared with the reporters. April 16, 2016. There are only two reasons why zookeepers are killed by tigers. One, there has been a failure in the safety measures to keep tigers and zookeepers apart, or two, the zookeeper doesn't understand their relationship with tigers or any other big cat. There is a lot that can go wrong, from failing latches to not having a clear line of sight between the cat and keeper, to the mishaps that are caused by a keeper purposely entering the cat's space. Even if the cats are not killed for doing what comes naturally, they are doomed to life in prison. Night houses seem to often be part of the human big cat mauling or killing scenario, and maybe it is because it is such a cruel practice. Cats are most active at night, but for liability reasons are shut in prison-like windowless cells by zoos when they are closed. The cats hate it, so they have to withhold food to force them in at night. Big Cat Rescue does not lock cats up at night, and thanks to our mild climate in Florida, does not utilize any sort of indoor housing for the big cats. Because there are no solid walls or doors, the keepers at Big Cat Rescue can always see where the cat is before approaching the enclosure. Caregivers at the sanctuary do not enter the enclosures of any big cat unless that cat is safely locked into another portion of the cage by the CEO or president and the operations manager. Exotic cats are spectacularly intelligent creatures and have years to plot their escape or revenge. The second reason keepers are killed by big cats is that they think they are tiger whisperers, or they think they have some supernatural bond with apex predators that makes them special. Anyone who espouses such nonsense shouldn't be allowed anywhere near a captive big cat, because they clearly do not understand exotic cats. It is just a matter of time before it ends in tragedy. Cats in cages may be solicitous of their owners or keepers, but that's because they have to beg for everything. It's sad to see when you think about how majestic these animals are meant to be. Humans mistake their temporary power, ensured by the strength of the cage, for having a bond or relationship with the big cat. Tigers have their own agenda, and it doesn't include pleasing people. Some may not be overly nasty about it, but given a choice, will escape and never look back. At Big Cat Rescue, our caregivers are trained to feed and clean small cats, like bobcats, servals, caracals, and lynx, for 6 months before they can graduate to cougars. We are a no-touch facility. No, not even their fingertips may touch the cats. They are with us for about 2 years before they are even allowed to be in the sections where lions, tigers, and leopards are housed. That 2-year process allows us ample time to weed out the delusional people who think they could get away with touching a big cat and live to tell about it. More resources on the captive big cat issue. Just like the better zoos are accredited by the AZA, the better sanctuaries are accredited by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries. See sanctuaryfederation.org. These are the big cat standards for the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries. I give the link to that. The state of Florida does not allow contact with big cats over 40 pounds, but may have some exemption for employees, and I gave a link to the FWC's rules. Never pay to pet cubs. USDA has enforced actions. Why do I have no spaces between any of these words? USDA has enforced actions against facilities that allowed public contact with big cats over the age of 12 weeks, as they can take a finger off at that age and are recently and just recently announced that they will cite facilities for pimping out cubs under the age of 4 weeks. ACAs don't do that, but there are plenty of backyard breeders that do. And then I give the link to the USDA guidance. April 3rd, 2016, USDA cracks down on abuse of cubs under the age of 4 weeks in response to a 2012 legal petition filed by the Humane Society of the United States, World Wildlife Fund, Detroit Zoological Society, International Fund for Animal Welfare. I'm going to pause right here because I think I've already read this in a previous day, and maybe I've got it in here twice. I did have it in there twice, but this is just a shortened version of it. And I give a link to read more. April 5th, 2016, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced that they are rescinding the generic tiger loophole. Big Cat Rescue has been pressuring the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service since at least 2007 to rescind this loophole. And on August 22nd, 2011, after a meeting with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the generic tiger issue was published to the Federal Register for public comment and got over 15,000 comments in support of our request to ban the breeding of non-purebred tigers. According to their Q&A, it sounds like the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service may still rubber stamp activities that don't really help tiger conservation, but it's a step. USDA only banned the contact with cubs under 4 weeks, but that is a step too. So, what can you do to stop the abuse and killings and maulings? As long as big cats are privately owned and used as photo and ego props, the fantasy that they can be handled safely will prevail, and accidents will continue to happen. Regulations can't work because USDA and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service don't have the resources, nor apparently the will, to enforce the weak rules they have. So that is why we need an all-out ban on the private possession of big cats. You can help us do that at bigcatact.com. If you enjoyed these video blogs of my diary, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.